There.
Well, if any of you out there are following the program about half as closely as I am, you already know who I am. I'm Rodney Hale, and I'm the valedictorian this year. When I found out that I was going to be the valedictorian, and the valedictorian had to give a valedictorian speech, I tried failing my classes. It only worked in one class, Mr. Roberts, and even then it didn't work all that well. So here I am. And a couple weeks ago, Mr. Walcott, the principal, calls me into his office. He wants to tell me what the theme is for the commencement, for this graduation. And he writes it down on a piece of paper, and he hands this piece of paper to me. And I take the paper home, and I read about it. And of course, as you know, it's Nothing Can Stop Us Now. And I think about this for a little bit. And then when I'm done laughing, I think about it again. I think actually it's a pretty good theme. I mean, there's a few exceptions. And I want to get philosophical here. Okay, in life, okay, basically death is going to stop you. Okay, in Monopoly now, the third doubles, that's going to stop you. Okay, in craps, snake eyes, that's going to stop you. And when you're driving, a stop sign is going to stop you. Of course, the way most of the students drive, the stop sign is just going to slow us down a little bit, but that's all right. So I'm home and I'm thinking about this theme, and I'm thinking what this means, that nothing can stop us now. And I'm thinking that, well, they're trying to give us a positive attitude, that we're grads now, and I assume we're basically adults, and that, well, most of us will be going to college now, and we should look towards our future. And we shouldn't look for any problems, and everything's going to come easy, and it's just to be great. Of course, realistically, none of that's going to happen. There's going to be lots of problems. Nothing's going to come easy. But for right now, I think as we all depart for our different futures, occasionally we're going to look back on Pineview and look back on high school as a fairly pleasant experience, if not just an experience. I know personally, I'm going to remember a lot of things. I'm going to remember the football games and basketball games against Dixie where we kicked some butt. And I'll remember of course I enjoyed those games. I'll remember the girls volleyball games, which I enjoyed a lot. Of course, that was a different reason though. I'm going to remember the crowded hallways and bottom lockers. I'm going to remember the popular speed bumps out in our parking lot. I mean, in other words, I'm going to remember a lot of memories that don't necessarily have a lot to do with each other, or even a lot necessarily to do with education as a whole. I mean, during these past 4 years, just because I've been valedictorian, doesn't mean I've had a few chances to have fun. In past years, I've been kicked out of Mr. Kitchell's class for playing X's and O's. But yeah, that was lots of fun. Last year also Mr. Bromley's chemistry class, Eric Olson and myself built a little monument to chemistry using about 10 stools and a whole bunch of little aprons. We tried charging admission, but Mr. Bromley stopped that pretty soon. Just this last year, Mr. Roberts' class, he was so gracious as to leave a test that he was preparing on his computer. I couldn't let that one go by, so I changed a few words here and there, and he really appreciated that. But as you can see, these are just a few of the memories I'm going to remember. These memories aren't going to be filled just with report cards and grades, because if that's all you can remember after these 4 years, then I think you're really missing something, because we just spent 4 years in high school, and 13 years from kindergarten until now, and if that's all you're going to remember is the grades and the report cards, then you really are missing out on a whole lot. As for now, right now it seems the senior year has gone by so very fast. I almost wish I could stay here another year in high school to be with my friends. Not a little bit anyway, not really, but because there's a lot of friends that I've got really close to over the 4 years that I'm really going to miss. And I know that after this next week or so, there's a lot that I'm probably never going to see again. And There's a lot of people out there that really mean a lot to me. I'm going to miss a lot of them, I know. And so if there's one thing I can try and get everyone to do out there is just over the next couple of years, just occasionally now and then trying to remember me, because I know I'm going to try and do the same and remember everyone out there, because there's a lot of special things, a lot of memories down here that I think will be really nice. The one thing you have to remember, nothing's going to stop us now. And, well, that means that do whatever you want to, and if you do this, you're not always going to get what you want, but at least you're going to irritate a whole heck of a lot of people. And with this, I just want to say goodbye, Pineview, and just try and keep the memories alive.